All right, everybody, welcome to Mike and James Classic Games. I am Mike. I'm doing an interesting video for you today. I think it's interesting, but it's also a bit of a disappointment video. I had bought it off eBay, not working, and well, let me get into it a little bit and you'll see what it is. We are going to be playing with this today. This is the Atari Touch Me. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you that that's probably poor for name choice. But so the Touch Me was initially done as a stand-up arcade game in 1974. It was a short-form arcade cabinet put out by Atari, and it was actually very popular for a little while and then kind of fell out of favor. In 1977, Ralph Baer, who was an electronic engineer and inventor, saw the Touch Me arcade game and thought, oh, that's kind of cool. I like that. And so he designed what would become the Simon, based on the old Simon Says principle, but he developed what would become the Milton Bradley Simon, one of the top selling electronic games of that time. And so kind of jumping off the back of that, Atari in 1978 said, let's get in on some of that. And so they created the Touch Me handheld, and this is it. So there's a couple of things I want to show you here. First of all, like I said, I bought this off eBay as not working because I was excited to do a video for you about repairing this. I put a battery in it, and it works fine. So as far as repair-wise, I'm not going to have a whole lot to do here. So, but I do have a couple of things I want to show you. We're going to give it a little bit of a cleanup. It's a little dirty, and I want to show you kind of a secret here. Now, one thing I do want to do real quick too is I want to mention back here to my Atari friends, if one of you has a scan, a nice high-res scan of the rear label, please send it to me or point out where I can get it because I want to produce a new label for that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to give this a real quick cleanup and wipe down, make it look nice, and then I'm going to show you a couple of cleaning techniques. Now, I don't know if you can see it on here, but a lot of this is kind of textured stuff. Now, a lot of people will say use a magic eraser or melamine foam. The problem is that if you have really smooth surface like a lot of this is, that's actually going to rough it up. It's going to leave very micro, minuscule scratches on it and kind of texture it. And we don't really want to do that. And using melamine foam on somewhere where there is a texture doesn't get into everything. So we're going to give this just kind of a clean down, and then I'm going to show you a little trick for doing these, for getting rid of Sharpie. Now, a lot of people will say use either goof off or alcohol and just really rub into it. I've actually got a secret that I want to show you for this, but I'm going to give it a quick rub down, give it a quick little clean. We have my Make Towels Great again, so we'll use that. Now, when you're doing cleaning on anything electronic, isopropyl alcohol, IPA, 99%. Yes, this is available. Some stores have this, but you can also get this on Amazon for pennies. So we're going to give it a little bit of a clean down. Oop, that drops down. Just kind of get rid of any of the gunk that was on there and just give it a nice little clean. Yes, very nice towel. I'm glad you're good for something. Paco, what do you think? Sound good? Look good? Nice. Okay, so we're going to try this little trick. Now, alcohol will work, but something I've discovered, this is a dry erase whiteboard marker. And a lot of times, I don't know how well it's going to work on this one because it's quite old crap on there. If you take, and this works great for game cartridges as well, and you go over the Sharpie with a whiteboard marker, with a dry erase marker, especially right in that little area where that was. I don't know how well it's going to work this time, but In this case, I took it off a little bit, not a whole lot. So just a little bit of elbow grease on that. And it'll work better this time. But it actually works a treat, like an absolute treat for taking Sharpie off things. Hi. And this is fantastic. Well, I'll show you more of this when we do some cartridge cleaning and some cartridge repair and restoration. I'll get just a tiny bit more in those. Yeah, I think that looks all right. This actually looks quite nice. So the game is literally just like a Simon Says style game. And it keeps track of your score. And I will tell you this, I suck at this game. I have a very bad memory. Yes, I know, I didn't respond quick enough. Yeah, I have a very bad memory. There are 3 things I can never remember. Well, so that's the Atari Touch Me. They're not too expensive on eBay. You can pick one up for about 20, 30 bucks. I love this because and as my friends will tell you, I'm addicted to anything with the Atari logo on it. But this is kind of what we played with, was Atari stuff. I did not have one of these when I was younger, but I recently came across these about 7, 8 months ago, discovered that these were a thing, decided to learn all about them, and I decided I wanted one. And I decided to pick one up that wasn't working so I could do a video, but dang it, it's working! Now you'll see some versions of this out there where it actually has a yellow, green, red, and blue LED on there. I've seen a few people playing around with those. Now, I'm doing a little research on that as to whether they made them that way. I've not found that, but my suspicion is that actually people have gone in and replaced the LEDs to be colored, or it could be it was a more modern version of it. But if you know that and you want to explain that to my less than stellar brain, go ahead and leave me a comment. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. We got a lot more cool stuff coming in the next couple of weeks. So thank you very much. Have a good one.